everyone, this is Rachel with Songbird Crafts Inc., formerly Stamping Songbird. Today I'm going to make yet another Father's Day card using these classic cards collection by Mindy Eggan for Spellbinders. So I did, I think 2 videos previously using the muscle cars, and this time I think I'm going to use one of the trucks. I'm also using this great hero art stencil called Desert Road to create the background. I'm also using some distress oxide inks in tumbled glass, mowed lawn, mustard seed, and rusty hinge. Later on, I end up bringing in some vintage photo. I'm using just a piece of scrap paper to hold the stencil down while I add my color. I start with the yellow mustard seed, and I don't like the brushes that I'm using, so I end up going with small domed blending, these called brushes. I'm not even sure if they're called brushes, but anyway, blending tools from, I think those are from Tim Holtz. I then will not move on to the tumbled glass for the sky. I use the mustard seed for the sun. I'm using the mowed lawn to mimic some grass, and then the rusty hinge is going to be for the road. I then bring in a little darker brown vintage photo for the lower part of the stencil. So this stencil is a little unique because when you pull it up, it's got these white lines from the paper that you're blending on, but it's a really nice effect. I thought it'd be nice to put one of these cars in the desert. So there, I'm just finishing up the bottom, and it was a little difficult because the stencils got really skinny lines, and it was moving around a lot, but it worked. I think it's a pretty cool effect. I try out the black muscle car. I like it, but I don't like it, and I've already done muscle cars before, so I figured let me use one of the pickup trucks. I'm trying to decide between the red and the blue. I keep going back and forth because they both look great, so it's kind of hard to choose. I then move on to trim my panel because I was blending on a 4.25 by 5.5 panel, and I needed to fit on an A2 size card base, so I just trimmed that each side about 1/4 inch. Then I'm just going to add that to my card base. I'm just using the gray paper because the mat is a little dirty from the distressed ink. I use double-sided tape instead of liquid glue to adhere that panel onto the card base. I then start looking at the cars. Still not decided if I'm going to use the blue or the red, but then I do decide that I don't really like that bottom part of the stencil the way it looks with the vintage photos, so I think it needs something to ground the truck on a little better, sort of like mimicking a road, but not exactly a black road with the white lines. I like that dark brown paper, and I'm still going back and forth between the red and the blue truck, but I do stick to the brown paper as the grounding. I add some foam to the back of the red truck because I finally decided that I'm going to use the red truck, and I add that to the front of the card. And excuse all the noise that you hear in the background. I live in the city and there's lots of noise outside. I'm adding the sentiment cruising by to say Happy Father's Day because yes, this is yet another Father's Day card. I'm so happy that Mindy came out with this design, this collection, because masculine cards are a little difficult. It's so much easier to make floral cards, but masculine cards are a little difficult, and when you've got a great design or a great idea, just go with it. All right, I decided to put the Happy Father's Day at the bottom right part of the front panel, and that's basically it. My Father's Day card is done. I hope this inspires you to check out this collection by Mindy Eggan for Spellbinders. Until next time, and if you haven't already, please hit that like button, hit subscribe, leave a comment, let me know what you want to see next. Happy crafting, and don't forget to be the reason someone smiles. Bye-bye.